and welcome to the Glitter Show with me, Gillian Gossel. Today I'm delighted to be interviewing the man himself, the co-founder of Glitter Finance and also of Rainbow Network, David Dobrovitsky. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good to be with you.
Brilliant. Okay, so you're already the co-founder of Glitter.finance, but now you're building Rainbow. Why are you building Rainbow?
All right, so there were actually kind of two, I would say, ideas that kept kind of flowing in with the glitter creation that influenced our direction to create our own blockchain, our own layer one Rainbow network. So the first one was meaning me and my co-founder, initially and still wanted to create a very big platform, kind of like its own financial ecosystem that would allow us to basically, connect users who are not crypto native to the crypto world, and to basically either automate the process or streamline the process for them. So in order to do that, you need to have your own very liquid ecosystem that's specifically designed to streamline the process for these end users. Now, the first project that we started was the Glitter Bridge, which is currently is the only bridge between Algorand and Solana. And basically, by creating this Glitter Bridge, we created a very interoperable ecosystem, something that would eventually serve as layer 0 for our interoperability. Now, when we were developing this bridge, especially since we had a grant from the Algorand Foundation, which also influenced this direction and this choice of the first product to build. So when we were developing this bridge, we realized that the bridge was hosted on cloud servers. And we felt that created a product that was too centralized and to some extent vulnerable, basically. So we decided to think, okay, well, stage one, we get the product to the market. What's stage two? How do you make a safe product? Well, a safe product would be to basically have nodes, to have people run nodes and therefore fully decentralize the bridge. When you start to talk about nodes, you get very close to the idea of building your own blockchain, because that's what a blockchain is. I mean, it's nodes connect to each other with a consensus mechanism, and basically you get this is blockchain at this point. So we immediately started to connect these pieces together, and we thought, well, wait, then why not have our own relay chain? So that would increase communication, increase speed, increase scalability. And so when you connect the initial idea of having a very liquid platform that is streamlined for non-crypto native users with a platform that decentralizes the bridge and has its own nodes, what you get is a highly interoperable, I would say, generation 4 blockchain and that is really how we came up with the Rainbow Network. It became a natural outgrowth and development expansion of what we were already building.
And so how is it related back to Glitter then?
Well, the Glitter Bridge basically is a layer, like I said, it's a layer 0. It's a layer of interoperability. What that means is that we created smart contracts which are able to basically take interoperability in a streamlined way. Actually, this creates a very modern blockchain, and it solves a very big problem that a lot of the older generation blockchains have, which is a lot of the older blockchains were designed with the idea of being like Ethereum killers or being kind of trying to somehow supplant one another, right? And so usually what you have is people are building layer 1, and that layer 1 doesn't have interoperability built in from the very beginning. So then when you go further and further, they all of a sudden they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? We need more liquidity. We need more data to flow back and forth. How are we going to do it? So then they have to build in interoperability as an extra piece. What we have is a situation where we have the interoperability and we're building the layer 1 on top of that. So it's a much more streamlined model. The technology becomes a lot more streamlined, basically.
And that's what makes Rainbow so innovative.
I would say that that's what makes Rainbow so modern. You know, the innovation comes from, first of all, being able, you know, blockchain being able to accept interoperability much easier. Secondly, the fact that when you build a blockchain with interoperability first, you greatly increase the amount of liquidity that can come into that blockchain from the very beginning. And then in addition to that, we're adding a layer 3, which is interesting because Vitalik started to tweet recently, what's layer 3? Well, in our vision, a layer 3 is an application that is attached to the blockchain, which kind of goes a little closer to fintech and allows users that are used to those mobile applications to basically start working with crypto from that front end, basically.
So from the app rather than from the blockchain, you start from the app.
Exactly.
It's more intuitive, of course, for a user to use an app as opposed to a blockchain.
Yeah, and of course, you know, there's a lot more people that are using PayPal than are using, you know, blockchain applications. So it's a lot more intuitive for people to download an app and, you know, use an app that kind of feels like fintech, but works with crypto, rather than go on your computer, go to a website that you don't know, click open app, and then try to work that way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Go where the people are. So how's now? Do you say the XGLI or XGLI? Do you pronounce it together, or do you do
XGLI?
XGLI. So how is that token going to be used on Rainbow?
So the XGLI really helps us because it's used as a cross-chain bridging mechanism. It's also used to connect the Glitter community to the Rainbow community. And it's used to bring in a lot of cross-chain liquidity into the ecosystem. So there are a couple of ways that we encourage the Glitter community to join the Rainbow ecosystem. One way is we're going to be doing an airdrop of Rainbow tokens and again, I must say here, for non-US residents, because basically it's a kind of an incentive for them to get into the larger Glitter Rainbow ecosystem. They can also later stake their XGLI tokens and receive Rainbow as a reward. So these are kind of, so as you can see, like it's very convenient for us and very streamlined to basically take the 40,000 people that are currently following Glitter and then basically streamline their connection to Rainbow.
That makes sense. I was going to ask you about the size of the community, but 40,000 is not insubstantial. So you're going to use the between airdrops and earning. It's like almost one is a governance token, almost in the way, you know, people typically they stake one token then earn another. So how else will the Rainbow token be used as airdrops, as rewards? How else will you use it?
Well, to pay gas fees.
Okay.
To pay people who run the nodes. To create liquidity, to create incentives for lending. Basically, the amount of use cases you have is, you know, it's only going to keep growing. But at the moment, right now, it's the primary layer 1 coin of the Rainbow ecosystem, and it's, you know, at the very minimum used for gas fees and to pay the people that are, you know, basically setting up the nodes for us. And then an incentive and to connect the XGLI users to Rainbow. So
okay,
I would say there's one major difference between the XGLI and the Rainbow coin, and that is the XGLI is a blockchain agnostic token. So the way we envision XGLI, there's already XGLI on Algorand, on Solana. There's going to be an XGLI on Ethereum, and eventually on Cosmos ecosystem because it's going to be on Rainbow. Rainbow as a coin is going to be just on our network, so it's a very different type of token or coin.
So you mentioned earlier about mobile applications. How will that interact? You know, how are you going to get mobile users using Rainbow?
So again, I would say right now the way the technology is going, there's a lot of conversation over layer 3. I think there's a conversation over layer 3 because, as you know, the first stage was build a layer 1, right? with the various kind of, create the basic ecosystem, right? Ethereum, Algorand, Tezos, Solana, all of these different blockchains. Then people wanted to have much more ability to trade and to diversify within those ecosystems. So you created, especially Ethereum, created tokens, and then protocols were created, and eventually DeFi, and that's great. I think eventually the reason that conversation is starting to center now around layer 3 is because it's apparent that there's still a disconnect between a majority of end users and the crypto maximalists, and so basically you need something to extend the use case to normal people. Well, normal people like application,
Yeah,
that's
and they
just the
like
way it is.
mobile. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they like mobile, and they also like it when with the interface of a mobile app, when it's simple to use, when you have a few buttons as opposed to many buttons, when the concepts are much clearer, like exchange into crypto, change back, all of that. So basically, that's what a layer 3 is for us, and that's what a mobile application is going to be used. It's going to be used to create a decentralized mobile application, which will streamline much more so than currently is possible the approach into the Rainbow ecosystem for people that generally don't use crypto.
What are some of the interesting technologies you plan to implement in Rainbow?
So first of all, we're going to be using the Cosmos SDK. It will blend us firmly within the Cosmos family of blockchains. This is very exciting for us. It's very well tested technology that is very interoperable within itself. So all the Cosmos blockchains are highly interoperable within each other. We're going to be using the Tendermint, consensus framework, which is again one of the more stable consensus frameworks within blockchain tech. We're also planning to collaborate with a new programming language called Reach, which has been developed in Boston, and is a compiler language which allows you to scale applications much quicker. So there's quite a bit. I'm not going to go into absolutely all of them, but there's a lot, and it's quite exciting to implement all the different ideas that are kind of piling up.
Is the same dev team involved in both projects?
Yes, so basically Rainbow is stage 2 of Glitter. It's basically Glitter growing up. And so it is absolutely the same team. It's also, you can also consider Rainbow to be a product of Glitter. So basically, again, I would say it's the same organization, it's the same team, and it's a stage 2 of our initial protocol.
So what will happen to the Glitter Bridge when Rainbow is created?
Well, the Rainbow Bridge is going to be built out into Rainbow. I mean, Rainbow itself is going to be a highly interoperable blockchain, and the beginning of that, the layer 0, is the Glitter Bridge. So the tech is going to be there, the front end is going to be there. It's just it's going to be a blockchain instead of just a kind of a semi-centralized wrap token bridge.
So finally, David, what distinguishes Rainbow from other blockchains?
So I would say, first of all, our focus on streamlining the experience for people who are not totally in crypto is one major thing. We're not trying to just create like a trader haven. We are trying to create a ecosystem where an advanced trader can find what they're looking for, but so can a person who is curious about crypto and doesn't have a lot of experience. I think creating a layer 3 is a big deal. I think that it's really the future for blockchains. And I believe that we're one of the first to really tackle that, as a real use case product. I also think that our approach to the blockchain is not to create something that is very fragmented, but to try to create a blockchain that almost feels like one enormous liquid DEX. And so that approach is very unique. I mean, there are definitely other blockchains that are now, working in it or trying to perfect that concept. But basically combining that with a layer 3 is a very modern approach to to blockchain technology. It's not what was done before. Solving fragmentation not only within liquidity but within the user base is really the purpose of Rainbow.
Perfect. So Rainbow, the modern blockchain.
Correct.
Thank you very much for your time today. We'll come back for more updates. It's been brilliant. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Thank you.